Gate 14 podcast, an absolute fucked week. This is the offseason, folks. We got maybe the best hitter on the Blue Jays in the last 4 years. He's gone for a reliever and a prospect. We'll go into that. JR, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Not much, man. Excited to talk, man. We got lots to talk about. There was almost an emergency pod, so I guess we should. Did we say we were going to do a pod and then we didn't? Or
we did an emergency live.
We did a live.
Yeah, that's true.
The live had like 400 people in it. I looked at the numbers after. That was wild. It was a crazy week, to say the least. That, like, I don't know. It was fucking crazy. Avery, how are you doing, man? Because Avery, by the way, for the listeners, he is how do you say this?
I don't know what you could possibly say.
You're a scout. Oh. As Rico would say. You are a fucking scout, and we'll go into that in a little bit. But how are you doing, Avery?
I'm good. Trade. We'll talk about it. It sucks as a fan to get a reliever back who's not going to be your closer. I mean, it's just tough on the eye test, but talked myself into liking it, even though I know I hate it.
But in reality, right? Like we'll go into it right now. Like the Jays traded Teoscar Hernandez for pretty much not like the same stuff, like the same stat line as Anthony Bass. Like that, is that crazy to say? That, I mean, that's essentially what that trade was. Like a mid setup guy / like seventh inning reliever for Teo, like a 30 plus or 25 plus home run guy that's fucking mashes.
Yeah, this is the first time I've kind of not given a fuck about a baseball savant page in my life. Pretty much, like I saw it's all red, it's fucking hot as shit, and I just like I can't really care. I can't bring myself to care about who we got back for. I mean, so the Mako kid, Czech born, he's in he played for Vauxhall in Alberta.
Yeah.
So my brother's roommate know him, said he's a really good kid. He's a good pitcher, but it's tough for me to care and think it made us better. Even if it did.
I agree, but I want to go into this because obviously a lot of people on Twitter were saying like Teo's not coming back, Teo not this, Teo not that. When you're a team that's in win now mode, right? Like the Toronto Blue Jays, you think the Dodgers got rid of all their guys that were done after this year at the trade deadline or in the offseason? Like Trey Turner was last year with the Dodgers, but they're in win now mode, so they kept them and risked losing him in the offseason. I'm just so tired of this win now mode bullshit that gets spewed at us, but you make moves like this though. Listen, I know Swanson's a good relief pitcher, obviously, but to trade a middle of the order all-star silver slugger guy for it still just doesn't really sit right with me. Is that crazy to say?
No, that's exactly what I was saying. Like he could be the best pitcher since Jesus Christ himself, and I'd still think that I just still wouldn't love it again. But yeah, thinking about, so say we get rid of some of the stuff that came out from Atkins, just really confused me as well. Him saying we didn't need the flexibility to sign a top guy, the why, and then it comes out the next day. He's like, we want lineup flexibility. Kind of threw me off a little bit. But again, if we don't get Brandon Nimmo or someone like that, we are way behind the 8 ball right now. Like I don't think you can trade Teo for, I take that back. I think we can exactly trade Teo for what we got for him right now if we already signed Nimmo. Because I feel like it's very similar. It's not a crazy haul we got back.
I feel like what you have to do in that exact situation is you have to sign Nimmo first and then trade Teo, right? Is that what you're trying to say? Because you're banking on signing an outfielder. What if a good outfielder doesn't want to sign with the Blue Jays?
Yeah.
Like then you have Whit Merrifield playing center or right and George Springer in center, and that's your outfield. How you have to replace 25 home runs to 30 home runs. You can't do that unless, like, if Nimmo, because obviously the Mets don't give a fuck. They'll spend they'll spend $1 trillion. If Nimmo gets the bag thrown at him, he's going to sign back with the Mets. Who the fuck are the Jays going to get?
Yeah, I don't get I think the weirdest thing here was why even trade him now? Like what? Like Seattle wasn't probably pushing that this deal needs to get done. And from a Jays side, wouldn't it be better if Judge goes to a team and now there's 3 other teams that have a boatload of money that might want to do a sign and trade for Teoscar? Like Like the Giants don't get Judge, would they not want Teoscar like in their outfield? Like, so like I just don't get why make that trade. This seems like a trade you make once you know your team is. If money wasn't a thing, that's what makes no sense here. Is why would you trade? Why would you rush this trade when
rush trade?
You could literally just. I mean, I don't see Seattle. Seattle doesn't seem like they're going to sign him right away. It's going to be a wait and see type thing. So obviously, money wasn't the issue for them doing this now. I don't get why we pulled the trigger without knowing what's going to happen. So unless they're that confident, which I'm guessing they must be that confident that they can make this team better doing this trade.
And the team that dog walked us in the playoffs, we made better in this.
Yeah, and you trade to like that's the thing too. Like they had to see this offer as like I know he says they got a lot of offers. The offers must have been dog shit.
Well, you're telling me a team couldn't offer more than a relief pitcher and an 8th ranked prospect? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, because you're doing this deal with any other team in the NL that's giving even close to the value. You're not trading Seattle and giving them your silver slugger outfielder. I don't. Yeah, it just seemed like weird. The timing seemed weird. Like you do this, people do these type of trades when they have something like lined up right away.
Like, is it crazy? And listen, I'm not trying to be like a negative guy because that's apparently what TikTok comments were saying. This guy will not complain, but like this was a rushed trade. This was a very, very rushed trade. This is not a trade you make in November when like JR said, like no free agents have signed yet. You know, like teams are gonna sooner than later. Teams are gonna start scrambling when other teams sign guys, right? And you mentioned that with the Giants. Let's say the Giants don't get Judge. The Giants could offer, I'm assuming, maybe a better package than the Mariners did. Like, why not play the waiting game a little bit? Like, did Ross Atkins say, oh, I'm not going to get a better offer than this? And if he did, he's a fucking dummy because you could get way better offer than a reliever that was, I hate to say this, was good for 1 year.
That's also the thing that turnover on good relievers happens a lot. Like Edwin Diaz was dog. They thought they lost the Edwin Diaz trade with Klenek. And Mets fans or Mariners fans were so pumped that they had fleeced them. Ed Luz Diaz was off the team, and now he's the best reliever in baseball. It's just the turnover is crazy for relievers being good for a guy who's 30 something, right?
I think he's 30. Guy. He's in his 30s. He's in his 30s.
Maybe he just hit his stride. Like I'd love for him to be awesome, but
yeah, it's just looking back on it, man. It's like I just don't know how you click accept on that trade. Is that crazy? Like. The thing that really aggravates me with it is it was made on a random weekday 2 or 3 days into free agency or a week into free agency, man. No pieces are no puzzle pieces are moving with other teams, right? Like, fuck, man, I don't know. And to be honest, like if the Yankees can manage to re-sign Judge, you know they're gonna like go all in and start signing other guys too, right? Like, fuck, man. It doesn't sit right with me. This trade just didn't sit right with me, man.
Yeah. Because in reality, you could probably have done, I guess they're not really popular in MLB, but like sign in trades and then the value's more. But it just seems so like, why? Like there's no rush to do this trade at all. This is such a high risk trade. It's not even funny because first of all, you're banking on a reliever to be a shutdown guy, which is what he was this year. Rightfully so. He was. You're banking on that. Let's say Swanson puts up a fucking goose egg this year and his ass. You know how dumb Ross Atkins is going to look?
Yeah. He's dumb if the Mariners resign. If he goes somewhere else after, it's kind of a wash.
The way Atkins is talking about, and now that it seems like we're like front runners with Nimmo, is that Nimmo said he needs to be gone before I sign.
Yeah, one of the reports I read was they wanted to do the deal based on free agents playing time, like concerns possibly, or they could go out to a guy and say, "Hey, we don't have an outfielder. We need you to play our everyday role," which would bring someone in.
I mean, Brandon Nimmo fucking fits nicely in this lineup, though.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. I agree.
But what is too much money? Like what they're talking about right now is $25 million a year, right?
I understand that. I know on Avery's point, I understand like it's not our money. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. I would be more comfortable giving that money to Teo though.
Really?
No, I think
I mean, Nimmo.
at Nimmo's
Nimmo
profile,
yeah,
Nimmo's
Nimmo is-
profile is good, but
Yeah,
you at the end of the day, dude, you have to make up for 25 home runs.
you
in a
don't
lineup.
have to though. You can score
but you
runs other
don't.
ways.
But you don't though,
Yeah,
right?
I guess that's a good
Chapman
point. That's
gets
dumb.
you. Chapman gets you 25.
That's
Yeah,
true.
when
I
they
know
had,
that's a good
Bra-
point. Never
they had
mind. Never
Breivik
mind.
Valera playing third
Yeah,
base the year
we-
before.
What Atkins is doing, I just think we just could have got more for him, and I don't think like this is like the safest return. But I mean, what he's doing is right, like in the sense of like
He's changing something at
He
least for a
needs
team
to-
that didn't get over the
yeah.
hump, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with.
yeah,
So
It's-
I think profile wise, as guys who are both over 30, I believe Nimmo's 29 or 30.
More
Uh,
injuries.
Pardon?
More injuries though.
Sure, but his
Mhm.
profile as a guy, a high contact guy who doesn't rely on power, plays into your later years than someone who's a swing and miss profile who hits home runs and that power goes away.
I'm not necessarily saying trading Teo is dumb. I'm saying trading Teo for a reliever that was good for 1 year is dumb.
yeah.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
agree.
For me at this moment, I totally agree with you, but I'm going to wait to like uphold my judgment until the offseason's done.
Yeah.
Totally, it might not be a dumb trade if we see the other moves that are made. If we
Yes.
don't make
Yeah.
other
In this
moves,
current situation, though, based off how this roster is made right now, it was a stupid fucking trade. Based off how this roster is right now, but obviously we're not dumb. We know that
Mhm.
there is obviously more shit gonna happen, but he's really taking a gamble on a guy like Nimmo to sign here, or like something along those lines, or a trade with the Cardinals. But does Lars Nootbaar move the needle for you? Like,
he's young Brandon
Yeah.
Nimmo.
The
He's
the other thing is too is if the conversations have been insanely positive on this catcher trade, that they feel that confident. Like that is also
that's another good point.
something to
yeah.
think about is maybe these conversations have been like they know the return's going to be high, that they were like, okay, we can make our team better by trading Teo. And then maybe
Yeah.
that was a conversation they had. I just can't for some reason, like I just think Ross Atkins he's planning on making this team better. He wouldn't make that trade unless he knows, especially for that shit. Like the return was a 30-year-old reliever who knows what he's going to do. Yeah, he strengthens the bullpen, but he must feel that confident that he's going to make this team better to trade a guy like Teo.
Yeah.
So if we sat down, start of the off season, and we wrote what do we have a lot of, what can we give up, and what do we need? I'd say we have an extra amount of bats than we need, and we need to address the bullpen. So thinking about that, we're starting to hit on the things that we need.
Yeah. Bullpen guys are such a fucking hit and miss, though, dude. Like you saw, for example, the Twins not went all in, but they made a massive trade for Lopez out of the bullpen on the Orioles,
Mhm.
and he stunk for the
Yep.
Twins. Like stunk for the Twins. So it's a massive risk.
Would you
at
be
the-
mad at Ross Atkins if we went into the year with the same bullpen? I think we would be, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
he made a trade for a guy that has high swing and miss stuff, not the velocity that the Jays kind of need, but yeah, no, he made a trade for like it was a trade that needed to get done. It just
He pretty much pushes Trevor Richards out of the pen, which is like he's just a way better Trevor Richards.
I think
This
he
is kind of a
pushes-
Ross Atkins put his nuts on the table move as well, because you trade a fan favorite. If this doesn't work, people are not
Yeah.
gonna like this. move.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like imagine like I feel like there's my magic number here is two big signings I feel like are going to happen. That's my number. I think if it's not a center fielder, he might put that money into an infielder and
think
get
so?
a pitcher. I don't know. I think he addresses it. I mean, if they're prepared to pay Nimmo that much, then I mean, how are we not in discussion with one of those shortstops? Not every team can give like I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, move Bo to second. It's not a bad move. And you get more of a contact guy.
And another thing that I've just
Bo
keep
should play
seeing-
center field. He'd probably be better.
Yeah, you would be good in center.
And another thing that I keep seeing that we need to just stop talking about as Blue Jays Nation is because this fucking dummy that I referred to last episode, I'm not going to name his name, CB, put Dalton Varsho in everyone's
Yeah, they
fucking
need to
head.
stop
Can
that.
we stop with Dalton? Like, he's not going anywhere. He's a
Well,
young.
Okay, now let me counterpoint. They just got Kyle Lewis. Why do you make a deal for a young outfielder? Also weird that the Mariners were fine to part with Kyle Lewis when they need outfielders. So I don't really understand that move, but the Diamondbacks have a ton of outfielders. A ton.
They're gonna sign Teo, the Mariners. He
Yeah.
will be signed there.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting how much. I mean,
I don't know.
The D-backs could get rid of Varsho, but it would be a hefty price.
I mean,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I don't know why they
would want someone who's. I mean, the Jays don't need a. How old is Varsho?
I think
like-
he's in his like 20s, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
like-
he's in his 20s.
I mean, with a team of barely any playoff experience, I think it would be good to get someone that's a little like I don't know why that guy, I won't even say his name, that he thinks that Varsho is like a dream candidate for the Jays. It's absurd to me.
Well, he's a guy who can play center field, left-handed bat, can run.
The Jays would have to give up the house for him.
Oh
The
yeah.
house.
He's very Alejandro Kirk-like without the proven full one season track record. Well, I guess he kind of did it this year.
Who would you rather have, Kirk or Varsho?
Varsho is so like he could play everywhere, dude.
I mean, he can catch too. That's the thing, which is nuts.
Mhm.
So
You don't see that very often. A
center
catcher
field
that
and
can play center
catcher.
field.
Yeah, I
That's
would.
such a weird combo.
I think like skills wise, it's Varsho you have to take over Kirk.
I mean, I would take Jake McCarthy from the D-backs. There is a deal to be made with the Diamondbacks. They have so
They've
many
been talking about
outfielders.
him. I don't know much about that guy.
He
What's
stole
the-
No, he's-
so many
Yeah,
bags in the
he's
second half
fast
of
as
this
fuck,
year.
but he is like a younger version of Whit Merrifield, though.
Hmm.
He's
Yeah.
like he's like a younger version of Whit Merrifield. So I mean, that's not crazy. But actually, going into other things on Twitter here, we might have a left-handed bat that no one knows about. Avery posted a video. By the way, I have no fucking idea how you found that. It's the most random video. Avery posted a video of Kikuchi from the left side laying down a bunt in Pittsburgh.
There's
And
Musgrove.
yeah, that disavow. But he was running like fucking Bambi to first base. It's just the greatest video ever. I would love to see like a extra inning game to like the 20th inning, and just you have to throw Kikuchi in there. Like he has to hit. Like someone's just tired or gets hurt, and Kikuchi has to hit. That video was fucking dynamite. Dynamite.
I don't know why I did that or how I looked at it, but I went on Twitter and I forget what I can probably look in my search history here.
It's just so all time. It's just such an all time video. But
And it wasn't even so I was trying to find videos of Yusei Kikuchi's big whiff performance against the Red Sox, and I somehow came across that video of him getting the bunt. It wasn't even a single, it was ruled an error. I looked it up.
yeah, that
after.
sucks. That sucks. That really does suck.
I'm starting to talk myself into Kikuchi being a very good fifth starter.
Me
this
too.
year.
No,
Hey,
reliever.
Did you guys know we only pay Kikuchi 10 mil? For the
Yeah,
next
it was
2
his first year. He got paid a lot.
Uh-huh.
So maybe next year he's going to be like, we're going to be talking like, wow, there's a lot of value with Kikuchi. We only have him for 10 mil.
Just a complete change
We
of narrative.
we
talking
only
value.
have Kikuchi for 10 mil. Yeah, it's not bad. I would like if Kikuchi out of the bullpen, and you said that pushes out Trevor Richards. You could make the argument that also pushes out a guy like Trent Thornton out of the bullpen too.
Oh yeah, I mean, be out before Trevor Richards, right?
Yeah,
For sure.
like I'm
Yeah,
fine with
okay.
Trevor Richards being in the bullpen, but just not a high leverage guy like he was pitching in a lot of situations last year.
Well,
Like
you got to
that.
think Pearson cracks the lineup on opening day.
By the way, for the Gate 14 Awards, we will be doing the most reliable, unreliable player, and Nate Pearson is an early front runner for that. It is outlandish. This guy didn't play for the Blue Jays last year, right?
Mono, man.
An entire season. He missed 162 6 months of the year. He missed.
That is crazy.
Like you can't. Like Stroman came back from a torn ACL or whatever the fuck he had, or Tommy John quicker.
Half the time.
Remember that? He pitched in the playoffs. I mean,
Nate came back for his World Series. He pitched in the regular season of the Dominican Summer League
Mm-hmm.
or Winter League. Sorry,
seemed
not
like he had
Summer
a
League.
blast at that.
fuck Nate Pearson. I'm gonna say it. The guy big
Oh.
leagues his podcast. I don't care if he follows Fishing Official podcast. You put the word out. Fuck you, Nate. I don't like the guy's a clown. Like, doesn't answer text, doesn't have the fucking common
I
decency.
disavow, man. I disavow this.
No,
dude.
doesn't have the common decency. He's a fucking clown. Unless he answers my text, then he's fine. So I think we have to take our followers away from commenting on Bradley Zimmer stuff. I think the followers just got to spam Ricky Tiedemann. I think I need Ricky Tiedemann on this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so if you're a listener,
I'm a family friend.
You are a family friend. You're like the godfather of Ricky Tiedemann. I need 100. Like the Bradley Zimmer was a lot. I need more on Ricky Tiedemann because he's pretty active on social media. I want 100 come on the Gate 14 podcast comments. I'm not going to be satisfied if there's less than 100. I'm not going to be satisfied on it. And speaking of the Gate 14 award, JR, Avery has still yet to bring it up to the owner's box people. I'm writing a script. I have tons of awards made, and this guy can't even ask a question. What are we doing, Abe?
Yeah, Abe. I don't know if the Gate 14 awards are going to be filmed in your basement at this point.
Do you know how terrible the quality of that would be? We don't have a good camera.
I'll talk to the people, man. I'll fucking make it happen.
It better be made because I showed you guys the suit. It's fire. I'm excited for it. I think I'm just gonna go white shirt under it, Gate 14 shirt under it. Just go a little classy style.
I was thinking of tucking in the thick Jesus shirt backwards.
Yes, that's a great idea. That's a really good idea. By the way, I saw a submission. Someone said Johnny Tantrum of the Year award. I don't even know how we would.
That would be good. Mud
How
Boy
would
of
we
the year.
find that,
Mud
though?
Boy
Like,
comment of the year should be it.
Mud Boy of the Year. I mean, Avery's kind of Mud Boy. And speaking about
Avery
that,
was Mud
actually,
Boy.
Avery is like on timeout. He is dead to me. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a background here. So I disavowed. I didn't acknowledge his tweet because you don't get personal with people on Twitter. T-Mac. That was a personal thing. There's no we don't talk about fucking girlfriends and wives. You take jabs at me. But anyways, he posted a Manti Te'o thing with my face on it. And Avery's like, can we get a side picture of you? Because we're doing of you versus Ryan, who, by the way, is just like the biggest salty human being on planet Earth who just cries about everything, but chirps me all the time. But Avery's like, can we get a side shot of you and him? And I was like, all right, I'll send you. I gave in and sent him one. Next thing I know, it wasn't for a side shot. It was for a slanderous picture being posted. So I would love an explanation, Avery.
Okay. First of all, we didn't use that photo you sent.
Yeah, because I originally said I didn't want to send one. Yes.
Yeah. Well, problem is I'm on both sides here. You know, T-Mac, this wasn't my idea. And he's like,
but you gave into the idea. You could have said no.
Thought it was a funny idea. I'm not going to lie. Thought it was funny.
So you can't disavow and say you're working both sides. You're in that side of the argument. You are strictly working one side. Now you were working the one side.
I might have been working one side.
So what do you? So that just takes away every single thing you said. You're working one side. You're liking slanderous tweets.
Just then.
No, you like
disavowed
tweets.
It on social media.
You didn't disavow it. You didn't disavow it. No words disavow came out of your mouth. You said this is mean, but it's funny. That's not a disavow.
It's pretty close to a disavow.
That's not a disavow. JR is the only real rider I have left. It's just JR didn't acknowledge any of the tweets. He doesn't like hate
That's
tweets.
very Rico of you to figure out who liked all the tweets. I like that.
I do.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
No, you didn't like it.
Now he's second guessing.
JR is a real Gate 14 rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is. I will be getting a Gate 14 tattoo this week.
What the awards, eh?
But I think like we need I need someone to come with me and like film it because it'll be hilarious. I'm thinking I'm gonna get it like under my arm. Like I have a half arm sleeve. Obviously, everyone knows that. I'm thinking about getting like just Gate 14 in cursive under it. Just be a ride or die. Like this is like when you join the mafia, you have to cut yourself and shake hands with people. This is as deep in as you can get. Like
you
this
could probably convince Chris to get one too.
That would be Chris with one tattoo would be the funniest fucking thing of all time.
Chris is a Johnny Rider though too. You got
he is a Johnny Rider.
Chris
he really
would have
is.
one single forearm tattoo of a lion.
He really should. He really should.
Chris would get tattooed like across his forehead, not realize because he went out drinking.
Yeah,
That's a good point. That's right. Did I tell you guys about my airport extravaganza on Sunday? I tweeted.
No, but did you end up meeting up with those guys in the DMs?
No, I wasn't in. When they wanted to meet up, I wasn't there anymore. I was only in Langley for one night, so I was like 30 minutes away, and they don't have cars, or I don't know if they have cars. They might, but I was like 30 minutes away, so I just sent them a video apologizing because I'm a class act. and they love the video. So that's just what you do. But did I tell you guys about what happened at the airport? I had an absolute meltdown.
No,
like,
you told me a little bit, but I thought I said it's fine if you had I told you it's probably fine if you had a bad tire, low air in the tire. I believe I told you this last week.
Yeah. So anyways, this is what happened. So my flight
fault.
was originally delayed a little bit, 30 minutes on like Thursday. So I show up to the airport at like 2:30. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I know this tire that I got new tires, but I know this tire is like leaking air. I know when I get to my vehicle in like -10, it is going to be done. So I go to the airport, I go to pay for the parking, and I don't have the slip. So I have to go back to my car in like -30, grab the slip, walk back. When I'm at the machine, the guy's like, what are you doing, dude? He's like, you could just press this button, it'll print another slip for you. I don't know why you walked a mile to get to your fucking parking slip. So I get the parking slip, I pay, I go back to my car, wrap around it, and my tire is just done. Like it is 2:30. I am like punching the shit out of my fucking seat. I'm pissed off. And I'm like, all right, nearest gas station, 1.4 kilometers or whatever it was. I drive 1.4 kilometers with legit a tire that is like scraping the floor at like 2:30 a.m. I get to the gas station and I fill the tire with air, obviously. And after every single light of every single street. So I have a 15-minute drive. Every single light of every single street, I'm jumping out of my car and looking at the tire to make sure there is still air in it. So like I got home at 3:30 and I was like, this is the worst night of my life. I was punching and the AC doesn't work or the heat doesn't work. So it was cold as fuck in the car. It was the worst night of my life. And I was
you see out the windshield if you have no heat?
It's like it like only works on the windshield. So like if you're in the car, you won't be able to feel the heat on you, but it sometimes only works on the windshield. It's weird. But like, yeah, we're in for a fucking, it was, and you know what I'm saying though, when you're like, it doesn't matter how late you are, or it is when you're in like fight or flight mode where you're wired, you're just like, you're not paying attention to anything. You're like, you're fully awake. So I got home at 3:30 and I was like, I am not even the slightest bit tired anymore.
It's like after hockey. Yeah.
It was just the worst. Like I was so mad. And then I woke up at like 9. I don't recommend
when you went to the gym after?
Yeah, I don't recommend I don't recommend leaving a car with a broken tire. That's what I don't recommend. But yeah, it was terrible. BC, by the way, is fucking beautiful, dude. Like that weather is so much better than like everything.
We were downtown earlier. It was disgustingly cold today.
Yeah, it was cold.
Like BC, it was like -3 or -4, and I was like, this isn't even really. I mean, this is remotely like this is the coldest it'll get. And he's like, my buddy's like, yeah, like this is the coldest it gets here. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It was insane. I was wearing like shorts and hoodie. Yeah, BC is nice.
You did declare that Pacific time is the best time, right?
It is the best. It is the best time. Then I got one-upped on Twitter because I did live in MST, which is you lived in that too, right, Ave?
No, I was Central.
Okay. Wait, is Central 2 hours back?
1.
Okay. All right. I was Mountain Standard Time. That might be the best time.
That
Pacific Standard Time is a little bit too early for stuff to start. Like 4 o'clock NHL starting is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That just can't happen.
Yeah. 6 o'clock games starting was always nice. Like
5, 6 o'clock area, like college football starting at 10 a.m. is fine. 9 a.m. is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do that.
Well,
shit.
even the Chiefs they play noon games all the time because they start at 1 a lot.
Oh yeah.
They're just playing noon kickoffs. That's
fucking electric.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That is fucking electric. But actually, well, let's go back into J Stocks. I got another question for you. So right now, like let's say the Jays don't trade or like do any moves for a pitcher. Are you comfortable with this pitching staff?
No,
they need another starter.
Like, okay, but what tier kind of starter do you think they need? Obviously, like the Justin Verlander, he wants a 3-year deal. That's not worth it. That's that's not worth it. But like, what type of tier starter are you talking here? Like a 3-4? Because if Barrios is good next year, that's an unbelievable 1, 2, 3. But the 4-5 is like a toss-up with Ross Stripling.
Yeah.
So
I think I'd want a 4 that could play as a 3, like someone who could have like, whether it's a bounce back or we think that we could make them into a 3. But I think there's a lot of options for like good options for a 4. I think there's better options for a 4 than spending an absurd amount for like a 1 or 2.
There's another
right?
bullpen option that I love. Alex Reyes is on the free
Mm.
agent market. That guy throws 103.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's wild though. No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he is.
We could use some of that shit though.
Yeah. It's harder. It's harder to hit someone throwing
Mhm.
hard who has no
Yeah.
idea where it's going.
That's why fucking what's his name on the Phillies is so effective.
In retro, like in hindsight, that the Jays bullpen now is kind of fucking good.
Oh,
Like,
it's deep.
on
It's
paper.
getting deep. It's
like
getting
on
deep.
paper, it is real. Like in my opinion, it's like you can make the argument it might be one of the best in the AL East. Besides, I mean,
the Yankees, when they get all their guys back, it doesn't really
What about
touch theirs. I don't
Yankees
think.
reliever there? Was it Chad Green? He's on the market, eh?
really,
Yeah. I wonder how much he gets.
do they
and if
trade
we-
though? In I don't
That
know if
would
they
be-
trade. Do they
would-
trade in division? I don't know.
No, it's not a trade. He's free agent.
Oh, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be an
That's a
interesting
good.
one.
That's a really good fucking option then.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just make sure while you guys talk.
I really like. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna bat like this bullpen is like. Think about this.
It's good.
Jays-
It's good.
The Jays have for the 7, 8. Like you can make a case the Jays have 6, 7, 8, 9 locked up, right? Like Swanson, Bass. No,
Jimmy.
sorry. Yeah, Swanson, Bass, Jimmy Garcia, and Romano. That is a really good 4 right there. Really good 4.
Yeah, and then you have Pop to fuck around and throw 100. And then you have Kikuchi to get people out when you really need him.
I really like that. Yeah, and Pop too. I'm fine with
Then
them
you
not
have Nate
making-
Pearson, maybe.
I'm fine with them not making another bullpen move. Is that crazy to say? I
Well,
don't
we
think
can
they
send
should.
Tim Mesa to Mars and find another lefty.
I think
but-
unless it's like
Oh,
a
they don't have a
trade
lefty.
and we
Fuck.
get like
we have Mesa, don't we?
That's a yeah. Yeah.
can't say
Okay,
that
we have
name
Mesa.
ever again.
I don't want to see that motherfucker near Toronto Blue Jays again. That guy fucking sucks. I hate Tim Mesa so much. I hate him. And by the way, we got to disavow this as well. All the Jays fans that are like trying to make arguments for Cody Bellinger, please fucking stop.
Why?
Right?
Let's make a case for him instead of making a
Hasn't
case
been
against
good
him.
since like I was 12.
Mhm.
He sucks. He is terrible, dude. What do you mean, Avery? You want him?
I mean, I don't want to pay him a lot of money, but he can play center field, right?
Yeah, he's a 4th outfielder, but like he'll never want to sign as the 4th outfielder. That's what we were talking about today. He'll
That's why
sign-
he didn't sign back with the Dodgers. They probably like because they need
Yeah.
outfielders. Or I don't know if they need outfielders.
Yeah, they
but
probably
Yeah,
said
they
we can't
do.
guarantee you
they
start.
probably said we're not going to pay you what the fuck you want us to pay you, buddy. That's exactly what they probably said.
Well, they should. They have deep analytical departments that can tell you what they would pay for him, and it's not what he would have been offered
No.
as a.
I mean, some people will pay him now just for his defense,
Yeah.
right? Some of the best in the majors, but he's not. I don't think Bellinger's going to a team that's like the Jays could sign him 100%. I think he'd be a good 4th outfielder. It's high potential potentially.
No, he does.
He
yeah,
needs
you're
to
right,
play
though.
every day for a chance.
He's
to
a
get back
guy.
into
He's a
his
guy.
form.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another good point. He's a guy that wants to be an everyday player.
Yeah,
He's not
100%.
a guy that is going to be okay with being a Jays guy, like in the Jays lineup off of the bench, or like a lefty bat option late in the game and stuff.
I could see
like
him
that.
going to Colorado.
I could
Yeah,
see him going to the
see-
Nationals.
Oh,
Yeah, I could see it.
I mean, both are
That's why
horrid.
I was kind of excited about Jesse Winker because I was like, "Fuck, he could be a good play a better Tapia kind of role." on
I
the
had talked
Jays.
myself into being very excited about Jesse Winker.
Yeah, like we
No.
sort of I don't know. I have to see how this plays out because it really depends on if we sign a lefty in center fielder, then whoever. Also, we need a fucking bat off the bench. Like it proved to be pretty. Like we have no big bat off the
I
bench.
think Moreno could be a pretty good bat. I mean, obviously, the Jays got to get rid of a catcher, which sucks. Now looking back on it with Tapia being gone, the Jays really don't have a guy off the bench.
no.
That is a good point.
They also talked about potentially that that Espinal could be moved. That's been talked about because Witt is pretty much just going to play that role.
Yeah, we don't need two of them.
Right. So like Aspinall could be moved for a decent arm in the pen.
You think so?
That I just saw that and I was like, it makes sense based off where this team is and based off who they sign and bring in. I mean, what role does Espinal play if Witt's gonna? Because you expect them to get two more outfielders, the Jays, right? They're gonna get a fourth guy and they're going to get a center fielder, and then Witt isn't gonna be playing this fourth outfielder role. I don't think so. I don't think that's the plan for him. The plan is that he can play any infield position.
Yeah. Fuck. Espinal really showed, like, at the end of the year when Witt was playing pretty good, it really showed that Espinal is like easily replaceable.
There's so many minor league players like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what's going on with like, do we think Martinez could be up like on our team? Another name.
I mean, he hit like 220, did he not?
Yeah, he was really bad last year.
No,
He dropped
220, but with a lot of home runs.
There's got to be someone though down there that is going to be given a chance,
Yeah, Vinny Capra.
right, to play that role, which should
Vinny Capra.
who's the guy that who's the guy who made the 40 man that said that he would play outfielder?
Barger or
Outfield.
Burt? Oh,
Barger.
His stats were impressive
Yeah,
last
he's
year.
a good left-handed bat. He's a guy that deserves a chance out of spring training. Is Barger.
remember when we signed who was Bird? Oh fuck, what's his first name? Greg Bird.
Greg Bird from the Yankees?
Yeah.
That was phantom. Like that was a crazy signing,
Mhm.
right?
This Addison Barger guy can fucking play.
Yeah,
no, he's
dude.
good.
He moved up the ranks. Like,
I think I'm in on Barger, bro.
yeah,
I think you got to give him a chance.
you got to give him a chance. He's also like, I mean, he must have been way down there on our prospect ranking because now he's still like, what is he? I'm
I think
pretty
he's
sure
a
he's
little
like
bit
He
older,
13.
though.
started in Vancouver this year.
Yeah,
What?
moved all the way AAA.
Yeah.
He started in Vancouver.
69 games in Vancouver. 47
Wow.
in New Hampshire and then 8 in Buffalo. He won't make the team. They'll give him he's got another year to prove that he can do it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's an option.
But it's option. But
It's a left-handed bat.
would you rather have Espinal on the roster or like find someone who's an Espinal that's a left-handed bat? Like, wouldn't that
Yeah.
be way better? Like, it just I don't see like why
Having
not
him
just
and Witt
get-
on the team is counterproductive.
Yeah,
It's
and not one of them's a left-handed bat that you need. So like it's
you
I
get
think they-
nothing for Espinal though.
based off what Atkins is trying to do and balance this lineup. I think the move could happen.
Yeah,
Maybe Witt gets moved. That could be an option
because
too.
but Witt gets paid a pretty good amount of money though,
a
right?
fuck ton next year. He makes nothing. This
So
year.
he's going to be tough to that's going to be a tough guy to trade.
yeah.
Well,
No one wants to take on
you
that.
trade
contract.
him before this year because you can't move him
Yeah.
at the deadline because no one will pay him
Yeah,
a lot of money he deserves.
Yes.
So he needs to be moved this offseason
Yeah.
if they're gonna move him.
Which it really, I don't know. I don't know what I feel like there's going to be a shocker, man.
The offseason's so long, but I
I
just want
mean,
everything to happen right now.
Yeah, it is. way
I
too
really
long.
do. You know what it reminds me of this offseason right now? It reminds me of like when the lockout just ended and like the trades could start happening and stuff like that. Nothing happened the first day. This like I am so eager for stuff to happen where it's like just make something happen, like just trade something. And I guess that's what Ross Atkins was doing with that trade that he made.
He was trying to
Like,
jumpstart things.
he really did. He really
Get the
did.
boat going.
I do think Nimmo does sign though within the next couple of weeks. I don't think he waits it out.
I said Wednesday. Some guy I said that my inside sources are saying. So I've done the thing where whenever someone comes out with a source, I just repurpose it and say that my sources are also saying it. So some guy asked who I thought Nimmo was going to sign with. I said the Blue Jays, and he goes, "When do you think?" And I just said randomly, I just said Wednesday. So
do you
they're-
think he saw do you think it's the high possibility he signs with the Jays though?
I mean, sounds like it's
it's gotta be.
50-50 right now.
The Mets have so much money. Like Cohen doesn't give a fuck, dude.
I don't know. The Mets and the Jays feel in a very similar spot, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, like just they need to get over the hump. And I understand like there was a lot of arguments with Teo saying like you can't run it back with the same team if it's not working. Like It didn't work the last 2 years. You got to change something up.
And the problem is, so I agree with that, like correctly, but it sucks because it's not his fault. So it's like
He was the only guy that, like, you could argue showed up in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you hit a couple moon bombs game 2, and then you're out of here.
I love Teo. I don't care what people say, dude. Like,
do you guys think that the Jays could now that there would be only 3 outfielders, there's an open DH spot, right? If they think if you put Springer in right all year, it would work out, right? Do you think that we go after Josh Bell?
Fuck, that would be sick. But he's probably another guy that's gonna want a shit ton.
3 year.
Did he not win a Silver Slugger as well
this year? Yeah.
I mean, that guy, like, you had to imagine, Nimmo and Bell. Like, are you considering that?
That's a World Series lineup. That's a World Series.
And that
lineup.
cancels the problems out with Bell not being a super high average guy and Nimmo being a guy who can get on base a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, it would be what? Springer, Nimmo, Vlad.
I think Nimmo would hit. I think Nimmo probably hits 5 or 6.
Really?
He's a table setting guy. You wouldn't have him table set for Jano. You'd have him. I think
you would have him too, because Springer just feels comfortable at 1. That's
Springer at 1's a lock. So I think it would. Yeah, I think you're right. Springer, Nimmo, Vladdy, Bo, because obviously Teoscar was the 4-hole guy that you just got rid of. Who would be the 5-hole then?
No, Bell? I think you would go
Bell then Bo.
Yeah. Bell and Bo, or you go both.
Actually, no, that'd be dumb as fuck.
No, you would go.
He leads the league in hits.
Yeah, you would go. You would go Springer, Nimmo, Bo, Vlad, Bell.
But Vladdy hates the 4-hole. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm almost positive Vladdy when he's hitting it. I know, but I'm almost positive when Vladdy is hitting in the 4-hole, his average is terrible. Didn't we talk about that last year?
Yeah, I don't think he had a ton
of Vlad Bell. Like, that punch.
Bell
right
you
there.
could put in the 6th hole though, no problem.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to say it, though. I do think there's a very high possibility Alejandro Kirk gets dealt, though.
I think so, too. I just like...
Dude, every guy we like is just gone.
We were talking about that, and it's like, do you like Kirk in your top 5 hitting? Do you like that?
We just said that right now. Like, he won't be there.
Yeah, so, like, I think if the value is there and the return, you do it. I mean, Jano's a better defensive catcher, so... Moreno's better defensive, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if there's good value, like what they're saying, what Kirk is worth, what if we could get Brandon? What do we need to give up for the Brewers to get Woodruff? Because that's another name.
Fuck, that would be, we got to talk about that too, because there's a lot of rumors circling about,
which makes sense that the Brewers would give up. I think they're going to give up Woodruff, if anything. The Burns talk is wild, but Woodruff makes sense.
But the Brewers management doesn't want to win. They gave up Hader last year and were ass.
That was questionable.
Ronald Acuna just changed agents.
To Vladdy's agent. You want to start that rumor?
Was that the biggest lock of all time? What a dumbass that agent was. 17 million with 2 club options till he's 30. God damn it.
Yeah, that dude is like, that dude is locked in for life, bro.
Yeah.
He's done. He like, because 30 is not really your prime, but I don't know, man. It's just, this is my thing. Nimmo's had, and I was arguing with Twitter with the guy, and then obviously I got slam dunked on, and credit to me, actually. For admitting I got slam dunked on. Nimmo has had 1 season in the last 4 years where he's played over 130 games. All right. Him and George Springer on the trainers table is going to be like Jordan and Pippen in their prime. The trainers are going to be like the Popeyes meme of the girl just like laying down or whatever, face down on the fucking on the bench. Nimmo is a guy that also a lot of bad luck with injuries as well. Like, you got to hope he stays healthy too, because I'll be honest with you. Yes. Is this George Springer signing the Jays made really, really good? Sure. But this guy has been a fucking Band-Aid, bro. He hasn't played a full season with the Jays once his entire career here, or like his contract here. He's been injured like majority of his contract, right?
Yep.
Like, you can't just listen. The George Springer signing was crucial for this team because it showed free agents like, all right, they're in win now mode. But the amount of games he's played has been not that much, man. Like 2022, he played in Where do you see games? This is
Yeah, I see this. I'm looking at it right now. I
Yeah,
mean,
20
this is yeah.
Yeah, 2022, he played in 133. That's good. He missed 30 games, whatever. That's fine. The year before, 78 out of 162. Like, and then the year before that, he only played in 51, but that was that the 2020 season was the COVID one, right?
Yeah.
So that's COVID, so that doesn't count. But yeah, I mean, he's played in
2020, you said, or 2021?
2021 wasn't the COVID year. No, but he has played in 211 games out of 324 for the Blue Jays. Like that's missing over 100 games.
The best ability is availability, some say.
Like George Springer, he better hope to go. I mean, they better fucking have surgery on every single body part in his body based off how many injuries. He's the Big Ben of baseball. And by the way, his nickname's Jorge? Who's it? Has anyone ever called him that?
Who's
George Springer's nickname's Jorge. I think that's another award.
yeah,
Worst nickname.
Nickname of the year award, because it sucks that Teo's gone because his was Mr. Seeds. Which it doesn't.
I didn't like him just tossing seeds on people's heads, to be fair.
Yes, that was dumb. But it led for we got one of the most outlandish comments on our TikTok about George. I had to delete it and block the guy about Teo. He said, "Good, got to get rid of all the colored Latinos on the team."
God!
And I just deleted the comment. Listen, so if you guys obviously are on the TikTok too, and you see like a guy I block a guy. He's the only guy that's ever blocked on the Gate 14 TikTok. It's that dude. I was like, this is just crazy.
Yeah, we don't stand for that shit. We don't stand for that shit here.
It was just like it's just the classic old man yells at a cloud like the Jays have too many Dominicans. That's what that was. Like that's what that comment was. But man, I mean, Teo's stats with the Jays are fucking wild. 32 home runs, 2021, 296 average, 16. I mean, yeah. Were you guys surprised to see all the Teo bashing from Blue Jays Nation? Just the Blue Jays fans, stuff like that, just bashing Teo. Like, we don't need a guy like him. He's not going to sign back here, all that stuff. Because there was a lot of it, honestly. Like, a lot of people were trying to justify trading him.
Yeah. I'm surprised that usually when you trade someone like that, like, you'll see usually it's like the bandwagoners are like just your casuals that think like it's the end of the world. But like, to be honest, there's a lot of people who like just it ended up being like even. Like people were just like, oh, this needed to be done. It was like 80% of the people have we barely knew to a sense of who the fuck we got for Teo. Yeah. I'm surprised that they weren't bashing the shit out of this trade, to be honest.
A lot of Jays fans were, and I try to come at it with two ways. I made a video for our TikTok like after the fact, and I was like, all right, like, listen, I know he might not sign back here. I just don't understand the whole sign back here stuff, man. Like, all the teams that are winning back teams,
here, yeah, it's bullshit.
All the teams that are winning teams have guys on expiring deals. They don't just trade everyone away.
No.
I don't know, man, but based off of right now, is it crazy to say besides the Astros, like the Mariners are the best team in the AL and it's like not even close?
I wouldn't say it's not even close.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
But that bullpen pretty much has all their big dogs still. Imagine the Jays traded for Munoz for Teo. Oh my God.
But I think we saw though, like obviously the Mariners bullpen is a very good bullpen, but I mean the Astros just dog their bullpen.
I mean, you're going to be playing in the wild card every year.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Abe. Yeah. They will. Yeah. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're
at least the Jays are in a division that's like, is the AL East a good division? Yeah. But it's always up for grabs. When you're in the Astros division, and I'm hearing the Astros are trying to make a push for I forgot that
Wilson Contreras?
Wilson Contreras. That team is going to be
They almost made a deal.
Oh, they want Jose Abreu too.
I saw the Padres want Jose Abreu.
Oh, yeah. That team is
want these guys.
Yeah, because
the Astros are fucked. Their front office, eh? Have you seen that shit? Like, there's a bunch of. Oh, I just fucking cut out there. There's a bunch of shit going on in the Astros front office.
Oh, there's got to be some fucked up. I mean, the GM leaving is weird.
After 1 year and winning a World Series his first year, that was crazy.
They said they had a deal for Wilson Contreras this trade deadline, and there's some shit going on in their front office that isn't very good.
Is he okay there?
Yeah, he's good. He's cut out there. But yeah, they said they had a deal already set up for him.
Yeah, last offseason or last trade deadline. And
fuck.
one of the guys is just like an egotistical maniac, apparently.
I mean, they won the World Series, so who gives a fuck?
It's true. But you're losing two of your top guys, right?
Is Justin Verlander? You can make an argument that pitching staff is so good that it's just next man up mentality. He wasn't really that good in the World Series, and they kind of dog walked the Phillies.
Yeah, they didn't pitch Luis Garcia at all. And that's a guy who was very good.
Like, the Astros aren't going to miss a beat for a very long time.
No. And then they have Forrest Whitley, right, as an arm.
Yeah, throws 99.
Yeah.
That team is fucking nasty. Fuck. That's a good point, though. The Mariners will always be pretty much preparing or stacking up for
a 3-game series,
a wild card 3-game series.
Hell of a trade, though, by the Mariners, to be honest. Hell of a fucking trade.
But apparently the Jays fleeced them, though, right? Like that was people were.
No,
but you pulled up the facts, though, right, Ave? Like where it was
the trade value thing.
Yeah, the trade value.
Who knows how that?
But if they sign Teoscar to whatever, like they're going to
4 years, whatever.
then like that
a
trade
friendly
thing makes it huge.
Think about Teo gets off to a cold start. They offer him a 3-year deal, reduced money. He takes it. They win this thing, and he figures it out again.
But he's known for starting slow. Remember?
Yep.
He was like that last year too. Him and Lourdes. I'm fine with Lourdes thing though. We actually undervalue Lourdes a lot. Like we really do.
I agree.
Like him and Nimmo in the outfield.
He needs to stay healthy too, though. You got to think though that this management, if they're gonna sign Nimmo, we probably need 2 more outfielders on top of that with Springer and Gurriel, who all have injury histories. Like, we
don't have enough
getting
bench
a
space
fourth.
for that. Shit.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we sign Nimmo and trade a catcher for an outfielder as well, a depth guy.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, because if you sign Nimmo, then you could trade a catcher and not really worry that much about the return for it.
Yep. And then sign a pitcher for whatever 10 to 15 mil for.
I'm just so mad at that Ross Atkins comment where he was like, we didn't need to make the move to free it. Like, dude, shut the fuck. Every time he opens his mouth, sometimes it just pisses me off. It's just some of the shit that he said. And there's that one clip I always talked about on here where he was talking about Derek Fisher, like talking about like he was like the second coming of Christ.
Derek Fisher.
God. Derek Fisher might be the worst Blue Jay of all time.
What did we trade for Derek Fisher?
Oh, I don't know. I really want to look into it. But
was it Diaz?
Yes.
Was that actually the deal?
I think it was. I know Diaz went from the Jays to the Astros.
Derek Fisher was the king. He got traded for cash considerations.
Okay, so Diaz might have just.
Oh wait, no, never mind.
I thought it was for Diaz. Maybe Diaz just signed.
Wait, no, the Jays. So the Jays picked him up for cash.
He was a Blue Jay. That's all.
He was a Blue Jay, and there was one game where he had like 2 drop pop-ups.
Yes.
Yeah, one hit him in the head, right?
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Crazy.
What was it? It was for Blue Jays trade. I gotta find this because I know it was like kind of a fleecing, if I'm pretty sure. Well, I'll find it. Oh, it was where was it? Do you guys remember though, Derek? Like he was terrible. Like I think he was the worst Blue Jay ever. Right?
I remember him. I only remember the pop fly fuck ups.
He was he was something else, man. That guy was something else. He's let's see. Yeah, he was one of a kind. I mean, he's played for 100 teams on the Twins now. Shout out D Fish. So
the new Twins jerseys kind of suck, don't you think?
Yeah, those Twins jerseys are fucking terrible.
I didn't like the hats, but I didn't mind the jerseys.
I didn't mind
the
the jerseys either.
Looks like the Marlins hat, man.
Yeah. The hats are terrible.
Are we gonna get fucking crazy jerseys like that at some point?
Yeah, why don't the Jays have a City Connect jersey?
Yeah,
why don't the Jays have a City Connect jersey?
I think because we have the red alternates.
No, well, fuck those red alternates,
suck,
man.
I think you can have 4 uniforms or something like that.
Well, we have 4: the light blues, whites, and then the reds. The reds need to go.
So the teams that have 3 uniforms had a City Connect. Like the Twins had 4 uniforms. I believe.
The J City Connect would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. What would that design look like?
Royally, dude.
Yeah, it would say next level on it.
Yeah, it would be that those fucking stripes on there.
It would say next level on the on the jersey. But let's go into some other things here. So me and Avery, this is a rivalry week for me and Avery. Michigan versus Ohio State. Where do you stand, Dave? Where are you at? Where are you at with this? Ohio State looked like so. Ohio State has looked like shit more than Michigan has this year, though.
For sure, but your quarterback just might be fucking really bad.
Your defense might be really bad.
It's true. It could very well.
If Blake Corum is injured, though, like Michigan's done. I don't even show up to that game.
Yeah. Ohio State plays kind of soft, so like I'm not looking forward to Michigan just running it down their throats again. But I think it should be a better game than last year, at least.
Well, last year was a waxing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ohio State's done that just as many times.
Yeah, I know. It's just I don't know what we'll. It's
the game's in at Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna look for. I was looking at tickets. It's like $450, $500.
Yeah, remember when you guys said before the year you were gonna go to this game?
Like, well, I thought Michigan would have 3 losses as they should. So I
also didn't expect the tickets to be this expensive. Like last year for the Michigan game, they were like $230 at.
They were less than that,
but they fit more people though in the big house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's way more comfortable to watch at the shoe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, like I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be the spread you said was 9.5, right?
Whoa, I don't know what it is now. That feels like
9.5, eh?
I mean, I would just take Michigan if you like money.
Yeah, true. We'll see. You're doing the reverse mush thing. You try to do it today. Let's talk about the World Cup, though, boys. I mean, obviously, I know where it's Jay's podcast here. Spain to win plus 800 future. Hashtag future Johnny. Are you guys gonna be tuned into that?
Yeah, there's nothing better than having a sport on during the day. It's like
8 a.m.
I've been betting college basketball as well. I love college basketball, but I'm not going to bet on IUPUI games at noon if they're not playing at noon, pretty much.
Yeah, England is going to be like 8 a.m. tomorrow. That's going to be a sick game. England, Iran. I know.
Yeah, you just put it on the radio on your drive in, and then you watch the second half, and then
United States.
What's the time difference?
I don't know, but the games are on pretty much.
Yeah,
like
they seem like they're on.
Well, I think they tailored them for European time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they definitely did that. They definitely did that. Yeah, we'll see. What was that other thing that I want to talk about that we got tons of DMs about? Bradley Zimmer's gone. Why didn't I talk about this right off the bat? That was wild. We knew it was gonna happen. We knew it was gonna happen. The Tapia one was shocking, right?
Isn't there something about? I don't get it. I don't know. There's something about saving money on that. Someone was saying we only shave like $5 million or something. I don't know.
Okay, you can pay for half of Kikuchi's contract with that.
Yeah,
I don't understand the Tapia one though, bro.
Yeah, I don't get it.
You need a left-handed bat.
High aspirations,
weird,
man.
Dude. They must see something. I'm telling you, they have a left-handed bat coming in for a catcher, and it's like a given.
Yeah, it's locked up. It is locked up. That the Zimmer one sucked, and you know what? Like we mushed the fuck out of him.
That was bad. Yeah,
that was our fault.
We did it. Sorry, Zimbom, but he is not coming back here ever. I mean, that guy's been thrown around the Blue Jays like a cheap hooker. I mean, that guy has been back and forth, snip, snap, snip, snap. The office. He's been thrown the fuck around. He won't be back here.
He's been thrown around.
You can delete your comments on his post.
We need to get a Zimmer jersey though.
Like hang it up in the rafters. Gate 14.
We need to get a gate 4.
We should just get like plaques of him and then put it on our back wall.
Yeah, like retired guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be all time. I'm gonna miss you, Zimmer. I really am gonna miss you. And you know what's crazy is like we started the narrative that he's a locker room guy and we have no idea. And people were like legitimately running with that narrative. Like someone texted me and said, like, you got rid of Teo and a locker room guy, and I was like, ooh, the locker room guy thing we kind of made up. But yeah, I guess they did.
I mean, if you're hanging out with Chapman like that, you must be because he's supposed to be a big locker room guy.
Yeah, Chapman is Shamanaya said that. Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it sucks. Teo's gone, and that post that Vladdy made about him was heartbreaking. Like he just died. Yeah. Sad. It was sad. What about that picture, by the way? You guys see that picture of Acuna, Tatis Jr., and Vladdy? All those guys are below the age of 24.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's
good for that, man.
I
Imagine
don't
having
know. I don't want Vladdy hanging around Tatis though. I mean, that dude is a fucking liability.
Tatis is going to be a Yankee.
No chance. If they don't sign Judge, you don't think?
At some point, he'll be a Yankee.
Ah, fuck, that would be hilarious. Another motorcycle incident sent to the Yankees. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna miss the clubhouse leader, bro. And there's so many tweets. The Blue Jays are now pursuing free agent Cody Bellinger, all this shit.
Yeah, of course they're interested.
Now there's just so many fake fucking. There's guys copying you, Abe. They're trying to be you.
I know.
Yeah.
I was the first one to
There's so many
ever.
fake news like reporting shit. It's unbelievable.
It's sad, man. You hate to see it.
You hate to see people like that trying to take a profession that people take serious and
Yeah.
making a joke
You
out
really,
of it.
yeah, that has to stop immediately.
Mhm.
That really does have to stop immediately. But anyways, we'll end it off with this. Gate 14 awards are going to be a movie. Obviously, it'll take a little bit to edit them. Obviously, I'm not expecting it to be edited in fucking 2 days. It is going to blow your mind, some of these awards we have. When you put 3 of these brains together, it's going to blow your fucking mind with these awards. I'm absolutely pumped for it. I know this episode not that much to talk about, obviously, besides the Teo trade and Zimbom being gone, but just stay with us, man. I mean, we're grinding with you guys. Obviously, it's the off season. It fucking sucks, but hopefully the Jays, by the next time we talk to you guys, have a big signing that can make this make the tempo of this podcast a little bit better. Because obviously we're all I mean, we don't know where we're at right now. Our fucking outfield has Whit Merrifield in it and Lourdes and Springer. So hopefully next time we're talking to you guys a little bit more of a reconstructed lineup. Stay tuned for the Gate 14 awards. We're gonna post, obviously, like I'll post some highlight clips and stuff like that of like to hype it up and shit like that, because I think it's gonna be hilarious, some of the awards we have. But as always, guys, love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. All the support is crazy. I want to give a special shout out to that Jordan Dello guy who goes to a Catholic school, wore a thick Jesus shirt and got kicked out of school for an offensive shirt or how to take it off. That shit, you just love to see that shit. That was rock star stuff. So thank you guys always for the support, man. We're going to keep producing the content for you. Keep firing the shit out, and stay tuned for the Gate 14 awards. Any other words, Avery, JR? Any last words for the boys?
No, love you guys.
Yeah.